Hey everybody, Jay Super Awesome here. I'd like to welcome you all to week number 19 of the HORRORMan's SlashBack Saturday Challenge. This week's slasher movie theme is Part 2 Slashers, and I will be giving my review for Revenge, Blood Cult 2. Okay, so getting into the plot for this one. A peaceful country town takes on an atmosphere of hysteria as an epidemic of violent death baffles the local police. Mike Hogan returns to the terror-stricken community to visit the grave of his brother, who is the latest to be slain, and soon begins his own murder investigation. His investigation soon pits him against the sinister and devilish Blood Cult. Okay, so getting into my thoughts for this one. It was a little while back that we was giving a SlashBack challenge to review a bloody slasher. It was with that challenge that I had chose to review Blood Cult. Now, Blood Cult was a movie that I did not enjoy. If you have not seen that video, be sure to go back and check it out. It was also around that time that I had discovered that it had a sequel. So I had went ahead and ordered the sequel, and who knows how long it would have been before I would have gotten around to watching it, because I had no initial desires to get to it anytime soon. I just really wanted the movie because I had part 1. So with this week's SlashBack challenge being a part 2 slasher, it was the perfect opportunity for me to go ahead and pull this one off the shelf, go ahead and watch it, and see how it stacks up to the first one. I can honestly say that I enjoyed this movie more than I did the first one, and my ending score is going to reflect that. Now, I can't, in all honesty, tell you that this is a good movie, because it's not necessarily a good movie, but it is quite a bit better than the first one. One of the things that I liked about this movie was it had a lot of the surviving characters from the first movie returning for this one. Now, I really didn't like the characters from the first movie, but this time around they are giving more character development, and that made the movie a lot more watchable for me. We also get introduced to some new characters who are basically relatives of victims from the first movie, or they are simply just throwaway characters. And throwaway characters are basically adding to the body count, which adding to the body count only adds to the fun of the movie. One of the things that I find really interesting about this movie is that with it having so many returning characters, it seems to have completely new set locations from the first movie. And I know it's supposed to be set in the same town, but all these locations are completely new. Now, it's supposed to have the original farmhouse from the first movie. It may be the same farmhouse from the first movie. I really don't feel like it's the same house, but it's intended to be in this movie anyway, so you just roll with it. And I know the surrounded wooded area is definitely not the same. With that being said, it's not really something that I look at as a negative, because I always think new environments and new things to look at is always actually a plus in these kind of movies. It's just always good to get to see new things, and getting to see more just adds to the town and adds to the locations. I didn't really find any of what I just said to be an issue. I was just kind of wanting to point it out in case anybody decides to watch the movie and begins to wonder the same thing as me. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the most important part of a slasher movie, that is the killer and the kills. So with this movie being about a cult, we have multiple killers. Now, whether or not it's one actor doing all the killing in this movie and it's intended to be multiple characters, that's all really up in the air. So I'm going to talk about one villain in the movie in particular, and that is a guy that rides around on a motorcycle. Now, he's wearing a black motorcycle outfit with a blacked out motorcycle helmet, so he's pretty menacing looking and a pretty cool character. And he pretty much just drives around harassing our main character at her farmhouse. And one time while she's driving on a dirt road, he's trying to discourage her and run her off from her land, because we have cult members that are figureheads of the community trying to buy her land because they do their black mass ceremonies very close to her house, and they want her land so they are undisturbed. One of the things that I thought was cool this second time around was that the cult members had mentioned their god Caninus several times throughout both movies. I had actually mentioned in my first review that it would have been cool to see that. So we have the cult members killing people in the community. They take away a body part to assemble a sacrifice. And at the end of the movie, they actually summon up Caninus. And it was really cool to see. And the effects of it was pretty good. So I enjoyed the effects and the looks of Caninus. I thought it was pretty cool. Even though it was very different than what I was expecting, I actually kind of enjoyed it pretty well. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the kills we have in Blood Cult 2 Revenge. I really dig how these movies feature meat cleavers on the front cover art. Unfortunately, in this movie, we only have one kill that features a meat cleaver. We do get a few other kills that feature sharp weapons, but this time around we get some supernatural kills, and I thought that was pretty cool. Considering we are dealing with a cult, and one member in particular seems to channel the power of their god Caninus. Overall, the kills are pretty decent. They are a definite improvement over the first movie. The overall production value, the way the movie's shot and filmed, the acting is better this time around. So overall, in my opinion, a much better movie. I'm still only going to give this one a 5.5 as it still feels really middle of the road for me. But as you can tell from this review, I did enjoy it quite a bit better from the first movie. I'm still only going to recommend this one to hardcore slasher movie enthusiasts that like to collect these type of movies. If you've seen this one, please comment below and let me know what you think about it, or comment below and let me know what you think about my review. And I would like to thank you all for watching.